how do you start a divorce case? So what's involved with starting a divorce? So we get this question, it's kind of the basic kind of first step. What goes on here? What can I expect at the beginning of a divorce case if I start a divorce? So, first of all, you want to prepare for what you're doing here. You want to have some sense of what you want. You don't want to be making rash decisions, of course. Get a sense of what you think this should look like, what your objectives are, what your goals are, what you want to see happen. Obviously, divorce means you're going to go living your separate ways, so you're going to want to have given some of that some thought. If you have kids, you want to have some idea what that looks like, maybe what the plan's going to be. So first step would be preparation. You want to just give all of this some thought, of course. And I think your second step on starting a divorce and how all this goes is to get some preliminary advice. It's good to talk to an attorney early on. If you're not up for that at that point, or you don't want to hit that stage yet, do some research, read some things on the internet. That's always a good start. Look at some YouTube videos, look at some TikTok. We're on TikTok as well. We do 1-minute divorce tips on TikTok. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like the video. That helps us out. TikTok is at Brent Boyer 2326. So you can always check those out. Little 1-minute divorce tips. But basically, you want to get advice. You want to prepare. So what goes on at the beginning of a divorce? What happens when you're starting a divorce? What do you have to do to start a divorce? So you'd want to contact an attorney. Ideally, you would hire an attorney, but either way, you're going to be drafting a divorce complaint. In other words, you write up a document. There's not really a form. There are forms out there. They're lousy. I wouldn't use them. It's not going to work. But you write up a divorce complaint, and then you basically file a divorce case. Included with the divorce complaint are other documents that are required for filing the case. There's going to be a summons. Depending on what county you're in, like in Wayne County, for example, they prepare the summons on your behalf. In other counties, you prepare your own summons, piece of paper. It's starting a lawsuit. It says you're being sued. You have 21 days to respond. That's that document. So you draft a complaint. You create the documents, complaint, a summons. If there's children, there's other forms that are filed at the beginning of your divorce case, like a verified statement and some other forms that are required. In some counties, there's a record of divorce form that's filed at the beginning. Sometimes that's filed at the end, so it depends on your specific county. And then there's also what would happen at the beginning, and one of the reasons why there's advantages to filing first is you can also do court orders. You can do what are called ex parte orders. Ex parte just being Latin for without a hearing. So basically these court orders get signed by a judge with no hearing, and they can affect a lot of different things. You can get an ex parte order for restraining order on property. We've seen court orders that throw people out of their own house. We see court orders for custody, parenting time, child support, whatever it might be. So there's all sorts of things that can go on at the beginning. With these ex parte orders. So at the beginning, you've got a complaint, a summons, what other forms are needed. You have some court orders, some ex parte orders. Once you have all these documents, then they get filed in the county where you live. So you file them in the circuit court. So it's not the local court like a traffic ticket, it's the county. So in Oakland County, it's filed in Pontiac. That's where Oakland Circuit Court is. That's the higher court above the next level above the district courts. So you file in Oakland County. If you're in Oakland County, file it in the circuit court. So in other words, everyone files the divorce case in the same building in your county. Or if in Wayne County, it's in Detroit or whatever it is. So you do that, you pay a filing fee. In some counties, it's in person where you file the divorce case. In some counties, it's online, but either way, you pay a filing fee, $175 if there's no kids, $255 if there are kids. And then you got a divorce case filed. So then if it's in person, you get the documents stamped, filed, they assign a case number, they randomly assign it to a judge, and then you're up and running. Now you have a divorce case filed. Now you have a lawsuit filed. If it's online, you file it, you need to wait to get a response, wait for that to come back, and go from there. But either way, once you've got everything filed, you got it set up, your paperwork's done, your next step is to get, usually to get your wife served with papers. Now, the way the court rules are, you have 90 days to get her served. That can be a little long, and that court rule is written for all lawsuits, not just for divorces, but you have 90 days to get her served, so you don't have to do it right away. The timing on that, of course, is up to you. And by having her served, what we're talking about is what's called service of process. So she's required to be given notice of your divorce case to go forward with a divorce. In other words, I file a lawsuit against someone, I have to make them aware of it. I can't just proceed without them. So service of process would be getting your wife served with the papers. That's kind of a big, in this whole process, that's like a bigger step to farther along the line of some of these other steps we're talking about in this video. But that's kind of your first step, file. Second step, get her served with papers. So you do that once you have her served. So first of all, having her served involves someone hands it to her, and they can sign the back of the summons, which is called a return of service. So they sign the document that says that they verify that they served her on this day at this time on this, they do that. Or you could have her sign for it. So you could hand it to her, have her sign the acknowledgement of service on the back of the summons. Typically a summons is a two-sided document or a two-page document. If it's two-page, obviously second page. So you could have someone serve her. Anyone over 18 is qualified to do it other than you because you're a party to the lawsuit. So you could have anyone do it, sign a return of service. You could have your wife sign it, sign an acknowledgement of service. You could do certified mail. I mean, that's kind of back from the Stone Ages, people doing that, but it's possible. You might use that method. And then that's it. Go forward that way. Once she's been served, once you've got that part of it done, then there's really a waiting period is the best way to describe it. Your wife then has 21 days or 28 days, depending how she was served. So let's say 28 days to respond. And by respond, she's required to file an answer. So when you get sued, someone sues you with a lawsuit, they file a complaint with the court, they serve you with the complaint, you are then required by law to file an answer, which is a response to the complaint. So answer is paperwork. You file this answer with the court, send a copy. You have to send a copy to the plaintiff, to their attorney, and you go forward that way. So there's that kind of time frame of answer and responding and getting back. But once all that's been done, one thing to point out with divorce cases is there is a requirement 28 days after the answer is filed that both of you are required to do a verified financial information form. So you're both required to fill out a form under oath that you sign that says that you are disclosing your assets and liabilities on this form. So you describe, you put with some detail, what is it you own, house, bank accounts, savings, retirement, whatever it is you have, and then whatever debts, mortgage, car loan, credit card debt, student loans, whatever it is. You're required to disclose what you own, what it's worth approximately, and what debt you have and what that looks like and whose name's on it and all that. You're required to do that, sign it, file it, not file it with the court, but send a copy to your wife, and then your wife is required to fill out the same form and exchange that information with you. So that's kind of a sense of what this would look like at the beginning stages of a divorce case, what you could expect, what it looks like, the specific details, the mechanics, like the nuts and bolts of it is hard to say because it's different in every county, but it involves filing paperwork either electronically or in person, depending on what the county requires. That's how you initiate it. A divorce is basically like I've been kind of touching on here, a divorce is a lawsuit. It's like filing any other lawsuit. Can you do it on your own? You can. You want to be prepared. You want to get proper advice before you get on that road, or you may miss some opportunities, miss things you're not aware of. Like these ex parte orders we talked about. It's really hard to tell you how to do those on your own. It would be kind of beyond the scope of what you'd expect to be doing on your own, but they're important. And if I'm going to get an ex parte order signed, I have to do it at the beginning. I can't file myself, get things filed with the court, and then come and talk to an attorney and find out I should have done some ex parte orders, and now I wish I'd done those and I can't. So you don't want to miss your chances, miss your opportunities with this process and this step-by-step kind of stuff. And, so you want to be aware of those things. So that's a little bit of an overview. Hope that helps. Thanks.